Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be putting together 4 of these Repti-Life vivariums. Repti-Life is a... well, hang on. So those of you that know me know that I keep snakes in addition to fish. I'm equally obsessed with snakes as I am fish. For those of you that don't know me, I keep snakes as well as fish. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the Repti-Life vivariums. Repti-Life are a UK based company. They offer a really good selection actually of off the shelf vivariums to pretty standard dimensions. They also do custom build. So you can request a viv to your specification. However big you like it, Repti-Life can do it, I'm assured. These come strongly recommended. I've opted for black, but they do like a whole range of colours: oak, walnut, beech. They do all sorts. I'll put a link to their website in the description. This is from their Repti-Lux line. I've built this one. I've familiarised myself with the instructions, which are dead simple, by the way. Really easy to put together. If you've ever put together a Billy bookcase from IKEA, this is going to be a breeze. This is so easy to put together. I have added these feet, so those feet don't come with the vivarium, but this is going to be a bank of 4 vivariums, this one being the bottom one. Basically, I just wanted somewhere to throw the extension leads under there and access them whenever I can. So I've added those feet. They're from B&Q. I think they're about £5. Really easy to install. But yeah, let's get to unboxing the rest of them. There's 3 more vivariums to unbox and build, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so first thing I will comment on is these do seem very well packaged. They are posted very nicely. They came by Parcel Force this morning. I've no complaints regarding the postage. I'm opening these with a utility knife. If you are going to open it with a utility knife like I am, just make sure that you don't scratch the vivarium that's inside. This material does scratch quite easily, so you don't want the blade sort of all the way in. Just a bit of common sense there. But package wise, I really like it. I think they've done a good job. So inside you do have some instructions which are very simple to follow. Everything you need to know is there. This is the top of the vivarium or the bottom. It doesn't really matter. They're both the same. So there's 2 of those, this being the first one. Underneath there you have the dowels and the fixtures to put the thing together. These are the sides. So this vivarium is a 48-inch wide, 18-inch tall and 18-inch front to back. At the time of purchase it costed me £101.99, which I think is excellent value for money, and I'll explain why as I go through the video. You have these handles, like sort of grippers, self-adhesive grippers for the glass sliders. I don't use those, but they're there if you want to use them. That's the other side. This is the back of the vivarium, and this comes with 4 vents already drilled into place. Those vents are installed. They also have these notches, and that could be for your lighting or your heat mats, whatever cables need to go into the vivarium. They do include these little notches here, so there's sort of no need to drill them yourself. Underneath here you have, just discard this is a length of slider which is used to package the glass, but you don't need that, just discard that. The glass sliders are cellophane wrapped, so they're not going to get scratched in transit. Here you have the this is the top plinth, and you'll know the top because the slider is a little bit deeper. If we take this bottom plinth, you can see that the slider is a little shallower, and I'll explain why that's important. And then finally, you have the bottom of the vivarium, the last piece. So you've got everything out of the boxes, you've checked it for any defects or anything like that, you make sure you're happy with it. Now put it on a soft surface. I'm using the workbench here because I'm in the workshop. So I've got an old blanket here just to stop the vivarium surface being scratched on this panel. If you're on a carpeted living room or something like that, your carpet's going to be absolutely fine. If you're on a hardwood surface, then just put a blanket down or something, or a bath towel or anything. Now, this is the back of the vivarium, and you can see the board is exposed. Now, this is the front of the vivarium, which you can see has, the seal all the way around. So that's the back, this is the front. What I would recommend is those little bits of polystyrene that comes in the packaging is going to stick to the wood through static. Just give everything a quick wipe down before you assemble it. It's much easier to wipe everything down before it's been assembled than it is to sort of reach into the viv and make sure like that darkened area is nice and clean. I would recommend just giving everything a quick wipe down now at this stage. All around these sheets you'll notice two sets of holes. There's a small hole and there's a big hole. Now the dowels go into the bigger holes, and those most of the time just push right in. Sometimes they're a little bit stiff and you'll have to use something like a wooden mallet just to tap those in. Now you're not bashing them in, you're just giving them light taps. Now, do the dowels before you put these fixings in, because if you put these fixings in and then you have to use a mallet, you might accidentally hit the fixing, which you don't want to do. So put the dowels in first. Using a Posi 2 screwdriver, just want to screw that fixing into the smaller hole. It's very, very simple to do, and I wouldn't recommend using a drill. If you use something like one of the drills or impact drivers up there, it might actually strip the fixing. If you are going to use something electronic, use something sort of light duty, like this small gyroscopic screwdriver. Now you want a Posi 2 screwdriver bit in there, and put that dowel in first. And just gently drive that home. When putting all these dowels and fixings into the bottom panel, you want to do the top panel at the same time. Now both of the pieces are exactly the same, it's the same procedure for both fixings. When that's done, you take the sides of the vivarium and you want to line up this exposed edge to the exposed edge on the back of the board, and this sealed edge to the front sealed edge on the front of the board. Now when that's done, you want to pop that on here with the holes in the side of these panels facing inwards, and you can just pop those into place. Taking these fixings, now you're going to put them into the hole this way up, so you want this cutout to be at the bottom of the hole. So pop them in like that. And using your screwdriver or electric screwdriver, whichever you're using, turn them clockwise to tighten up. And you'll feel it grab straight away. That's a very tight fixing already. When the first side is on, repeat for the second side, and that will just slot straight onto place. Install your fixings and tighten up again. When you've got these two sides of the vivarium on, you don't want to put the back of the vivarium on. Now, there is two sides to the back. There's this side, which is the inside, and then there's this side, which is the outside. And the outside can be identified by these holes. These holes go on the outside of the vivarium. So lift that in, line it up, and just drop it over the fixings like so. Just line up the holes and then put it together. Now, like I said, if you've ever built basically any IKEA furniture, you'll be familiar with these fixings. Very, very simple. I think these vivariums are pretty well made. This is from Repti-Life's Repti-Lux range, which is 18mm board, which is quite thick, and the quality of finish is very good actually. I am quite happy with them. On the top of the backboard you do have these little notches cut out, and therefore cables for heat mats or lights, and those feed through like so. Now you can take the plug off and feed the bare wire through and then reattach the plug, but if you're able to, pop all your wires through prior to popping the top on. So after the back panel has been put in, you don't want to put the top of the vivarium on. Now again, you want this exposed side of the chipboard facing the back of the vivarium. You will have to line it up, and I would recommend just doing one side at a time, lining them up like so. Now don't force them, go all the way around and make sure all the fixtures and the dowels line up with the holes, and then it should fit perfectly on without any sort of struggle. Then take the rest of your fixings and pop those in like so and tighten up. They usually take, I don't know, maybe half a full rotation. After ensuring all the areas inside are free from dust, I really would recommend using a thin bead of silicone around the edges. Here I'm using black aquarium silicone, which is also safe for reptiles. Now the silicone is just going to ensure that no moisture leaks into the gaps. Now even if you run a dry viv, say for a bearded dragon, there may be a case or a time where you spill a water bowl or something like that. That bead of silicone is just going to prevent any of that water leaking into the gaps, so I would recommend doing it. Now it's time to install the plinths, and it is very important that these are put in the right way round. So the shallow slider goes at the bottom, and this slightly higher or deeper slider goes at the top. It's very important that the deep slider goes at the top. So putting the bottom one in first, what you don't want to do is put it in like that and try forcing it. Instead, put it in like that and then bring this side to the front like so, and line it up with the fixings and the dowels at the bottom, and then just pop that into place. Now it's the exact same procedure with the top one. Pull this flush, not the smoothest demonstration, but you get the idea. And then pop that in like that. If the finish is looking a bit ropey, it is just where I've missed those bits of polystyrene. It really shows up on the black finish, but these Vivs have arrived without defects. Using these fixings again, you need to secure the inside. Now there's 4 fixings for each plinth. And after those have been put in, you can just go ahead and tighten them with the screwdriver. Okay, so that is the second of the 4 Vivs done. The last thing to do is just to add the glass. Now the glass does come in cellophane, but it's a good idea to give it a wipe. Take the cellophane off and then add that to the Viv. Now you want to put one side of the glass into the top track, that deeper track I was explaining earlier. Align it with the bottom track and seat it into place. And same again with the next one. Those just go into place like that. Well, that's all 4 Vivs built. Unfortunately, I only have 3 stacked up here because I have a little bit of a height restriction, but these will be in the reptile room within the next few days, and you will see them fully scaped and fully set up and fully stacked in due course. My closing comments on the Repti-Life Repti-Lux range of vivariums is that I think they offer really good value for money. There's a nice quality of finish, a good quality of track and glass. Like I said, 18mm board. It's the same for the backboard. Some manufacturers will put a much thinner backboard on, but Repti-Life haven't done that. I think they're really good value for money. No, not the best vivarium that money can buy, but I do think they're the best vivariums within their price bracket. The most important thing for me is that they stacked up nicely and were durable, and they meet both of those criteria. So I would recommend them. Like I said, I will put a link to Repti-Life's website in the description. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of them in the future, then please consider subscribing to the channel. I'll see you again.